Y'all, Cardi B just set the internet on fire, and the fallout is already spiraling out of control. What started as a petty jab over album sales has now exploded into one of the dirtiest feuds we've ever seen. So, Saweetie decided to get slick by clowning Cardi's numbers, pointing out that even with all the hype, Cardi's new project still couldn't outsell Nicki Minaj. And she didn't stop there. Saweetie made it crystal clear that she was riding with Nicki, throwing shade at Cardi's never-ending war with her biggest rival. That one move was all it took to light a fuse under Cardi, and she didn't just respond with the usual clapbacks. She went straight for the jugular and threatened to leak a tape so scandalous it could end careers and destroy marriages in one blow. According to Cardi, Saweetie hooked up with Offset, and there's a tape to prove it. Y'all, this isn't just rap beef. This is a bedroom drama spilling out for the entire world to see. And just when you think it couldn't get any messier, Nicki Minaj has now stepped into the fire. She's publicly backing Saweetie in the middle of the storm, fueling the chaos and making things even more explosive. Y'all, the girlies are fighting again, and it's about to be a hot mess. So let's break it down. Not Saweetie siding with Nicki Minaj, talking about, "That's my best friend, she a real bad bee." But Saweetie should have known better than to get involved in grown adult drama. Because now the world knows that she and Offset were supposedly hooking up when he was still married to Cardi. Now, don't get me wrong. We've heard the rumors about Saweetie and Offset allegedly doing the nasty for a while, but there was never any real confirmation. At the time, Cardi even denied it and dismissed it as nasty gossip. But with Saweetie now taking Nicki's side and throwing shade at Cardi, well, let's just say that Cardi is done keeping secrets. It doesn't help that Offset has been extra messy in their divorce proceedings, seemingly trying to cause as much drama for her as possible. Between Offset being chaotic and Saweetie declaring support for Nicki, Cardi is done with the BS. It looks like she's at her wit's end and pregnant, no less. But y'all know that Saweetie usually loves to mind her business and doesn't get caught up in drama on social media. However, she had everyone shook when she did a sneaky post and delete on Instagram of a picture of a man who looked like Offset. Fans say it was an old picture of her and Quavo, but the man definitely looked like Offset. What made things even sneakier was that she captioned it, "Post-fight night." Say what? She ended up deleting the picture after a while, but the damage was done. The fact that she posted it right when Cardi and Nicki were going at it on Twitter made the situation even worse. From the looks of it, Cardi caught the shade because she threw shots at Saweetie, tweeting, "You must have missed me, huh? Crazy? Now kiss my feet." She also retweeted a fan post that said, "Tell her make a hit. She in the studio just wasting time." This was clearly a dig at the fact that Saweetie's music career hasn't been hitting the same recently. But Cardi didn't stop there. According to reports, she's finally ready to admit that Saweetie's affair with Offset is the real reason the Migos broke up. This is huge because she had always denied it in the past, even though fans had already suspected it. Back when the Migos first split, Offset tried to stay quiet about the tension, but Quavo kept slipping in little digs whenever he could, talking about being messy. It was obvious that Takeoff was caught in the crossfire between what really happened and staying loyal to both sides. For example, in one interview that Takeoff and Quavo did, Quavo took some not-so-subtle shots at Offset. Y'all, RIP to Takeoff, because he was definitely riding for Quavo, but you could tell he was tangled up in all the drama. He still kept things chill with Offset, even with all the tension in the air. When Migos fell out, fans ran wild with theories. Some blamed Offset for wanting out of quality control, while others pointed to money disputes. But Quavo made it clear that it wasn't about contracts or checks, it was about loyalty. And that's how we knew the Saweetie and Offset rumors were likely true. The rumors about Offset and Saweetie first came up during Cardi's heated back and forth with blogger Sleaze Mirage, and that's when the alleged affair got thrown out there. Mirage claimed Offset slept with Saweetie, saying, "Do you really want to discuss husbands?" Cardi immediately shut it down, firing back that the story was made up. "No, baby, you lying," she said. "You making crazy lies, starting stuff, and dragging female rappers into it with no receipts. No blogger spoke on this." Now, there's a lot we can say about Miss Cardi and her marriage to Offset, but one thing's for sure. Nobody can deny she worked hard to keep things together. But she couldn't keep Offset's affair with Saweetie under wraps for long, because Quavo himself spoke on it in his song with Takeoff titled Messy, where he rapped, "BF my dog behind me, but I ain't stressing. You wanted the gang, you should have said it. We would have blessed it." If there was any doubt he was referring to Saweetie, he even recreated their infamous elevator fight in the video. Even though Cardi never addressed the drama after that, there are reports that she secretly got her lick back. She's never been the type to stay quiet when it comes to women tied to Offset. She has a reputation for going after his alleged side pieces, and it's nearly cost her freedom in the past. Y'all still remember when she was accused of sending people to handle Jade and her sister over Offset's affair, or when she clashed with Cuban Doll online. Sources even claimed that Saweetie got caught in the same crossfire, with Cardi allegedly working to get her blackballed behind the scenes, going after her whole bag. Many people believe that's why Saweetie fired back by throwing shade at Cardi for not outselling Nicki. The drama kicked off back in 2022, when news broke that Saweetie was set to jump on the remix of FNF with Glorilla, Latto, and JT. The song was hyped to be the anthem of the summer, and Saweetie had already laid down her verse and locked it in. All she needed to do was shoot the video. But out of nowhere, she was cut from the song. No explanation, no warning, just dropped. What made it messier was that she was the only one removed. There was no known beef between her and Glorilla, so fans and insiders couldn't figure out why. Then, just as the rumors were heating up, Glorilla revealed that Cardi B was joining her on Tomorrow too. Suddenly, everything made sense. It looked like Saweetie being cut from FNF might have been tied to Cardi stepping in on Tomorrow too. The timing was suspicious, and fans put two and two together. One fan wrote, "So the reason Saweetie was removed from the FNF remix is because she slept with Offset, and Cardi knew that. So she basically blackballed her and wouldn't collab with Glow unless Saweetie's verse was scrapped. Who's stopping bags now?" Another fan said. So that's why Cardi made Glorilla take Saweetie off FNF, and in return she gave Glow a free feature. Cardi also threw shade on Twitter, accusing Offset and Quavo of sleeping around, saying, "They be going for anything, but I can't go for none of that." Quavo caught the sub, and when he and Takeoff went on Drink Champs, they picked Nicki Minaj over Cardi B. No doubt NORE knew exactly what he was doing when he asked about Nicki versus Cardi. He was straight up stirring the pot. Considering the history between Cardi and Nicki and how much tension there still is, it was the perfect way to light a fire. Takeoff, as usual, seemed like he just wanted to stay out of the mess, but Quavo couldn't resist. And let's be real, at that point, Quavo and Cardi weren't exactly tight, so there was no way he was going to pick her over Nicki, even if he secretly wanted to. But that's Drink Champs for you. They thrive on drama. Quavo was already being shady as hell when he named Nicki. Everybody knows she isn't exactly cool with the Migos or their crew either, so him acting like they were besties made it obvious he was just trying to get under Cardi's skin. Nicki even threw shots at him a couple of days ago, blaming him for starting her beef with Cardi. She said, "Quavo, was it worth it, dummy? No career, Takeoff gone. Remember you told me you were the beyonce of the group? I laughed so hard inside. Anyway, pay Offset his alimony, Barney B." Anyway, back to Cardi and Saweetie. Now, Saweetie is known for minding her business, like I said, but when you're really deep in it like that, she can be shady too. Her kind of shade is sneaky, so people don't clock it right away. Her posting that fight night picture wasn't the first time she's been accused of being shady toward Cardi. One memorable moment was when some Getty images of Cardi at the Vanity Fair Oscars party went viral, and not for flattering reasons. Fans pointed out that she didn't look like her Instagram pics, accusing her of heavy Photoshop and calling her fake. Things got even messier when Nicki Minaj jumped on Twitter, tweeting "clock that tea," which fans read as a clear dig at Cardi. She followed up with another jab, saying, "Photoshop them bars." Keeping the shade rolling, Saweetie jumped at the chance to throw her own digs at Cardi, posting her own Getty Images photos and captioning them, "She don't need no edits." She knew what she was doing. The timing was perfect, dropping those pics while Cardi was already under fire. Fans caught it immediately, commenting things like, "Messing with somebody's husband and clowning them for their looks is insane. Head barb for real." Cardi caught the sub too and tweeted, "I'm not as mean as I could be, and I want people to be more grateful for that." But with Saweetie clowning her during this nasty feud with Nicki, it looks like Cardi finally lost all sense of restraint. She's now claiming to have tapes of Saweetie and Offset in bed together. Tapes Offset allegedly shared with her while they were still together. According to reports, Cardi is daring Offset or Saweetie to come after her again and see if she won't leak the videos as revenge. And knowing Cardi, she just might. Y'all, this whole situation needs to be thrown in the trash. But here we are, a petty jab over album sales turned into a bedroom drama, blackballing rumors, shady posts, Twitter shade, and a full-blown rap feud with Nicki in the mix. Saweetie threw her subtle digs, Cardi brought the receipts, and Offset is right in the middle stirring the mess as usual. This isn't just rap beef anymore. It's careers, reputations, and personal lives all spilling out in public for the world to see. Fans are watching every move, every post, every tweet, waiting for the next bomb to drop. And with Cardi allegedly holding tapes that could change the game, the tea isn't just hot, it's nuclear. At this point, it ain't safe, and nobody can avoid the chaos. Saweetie, Offset, Quavo, Takeoff, Nicki, and Cardi, they're all playing a game where the stakes are high, the drama is raw, and the receipts are real. One thing's for sure and two things for certain. The saga's far from over. So buckle up, Buttercup, because if you think things are messy now, you ain't seen nothing yet.